Yo, the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Smashcast Live or its affiliates.
Finally TV.
I struggle with addiction and alcoholism, so
This is an ugly nigga, bro.
How you feel your boy's soul got sucked, boss?
the podcast.
Creating the demise of humanity.
Booga booga doo, nigga.
It's hard work, man, like you said, but he says, good looks, my nigga. I'm like, nah, said, do me a favor, make sure you never call me that.
What's going on, y'all? It's your man Smash coming at you with another episode of the Smashcast Live. While here in Beacon, New York.
Beacon.
Word. With Beacon Martial Arts and Beacon Martial Arts owner and instructor, right?
That's right.
Head instructor Mike
Palladino.
Mike Palladino. How you doing, boss?
I'm doing good, man.
All right.
Thank you.
So, I'm be up front. We don't know each other.
That's right.
I'm be up front with that. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't even know your last name.
It's all right.
So right quick, let's get us a lowdown. Who are you, boss?
Yeah. So I'm the owner and founder of Evolution Grappling Academy. It's a grappling academy. We do some no-gi submission wrestling, some Brazilian jiu-jitsu. That's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 2007. I opened up Evolution Grappling Academy in 2012, March 2012. So this is like my 10-year anniversary, if you will.
Good
For
for
the
you.
decade. Thank you.
Good for you, boss.
Fucking fire.
It ain't just jiu-jitsu though, because what intrigued me was like, you could just do a jiu-jitsu gym.
Sure.
You know? But it's like you had jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, and then what it really intrigued me was Sambo.
Yeah.
I saw on the glass on your door you have Sambo, and I just found out about Sambo from this video I was watching like over the pandemic, and it was like Russian. Like it's for bigger dudes. When you get hit, you use a centrical. When you get hit, you have to hit back. So like the energy you send it through your face. What's up with that?
So Russian Sambo is a grappling martial art. It's they have two forms of it. It's called there's sports Sambo and there's combat Sambo. Mm-hmm. And so sports Sambo is very similar to judo. Some people misinterpret Sambo as Russian judo, but it's not. It's its own sport, and basically you can win by submission, you can win by throw or pin, and this covers sports Sambo. You're not allowed to punch, right? Mm-hmm. In combat Sambo, you're allowed to punch, kick. It's very similar to mixed martial arts, but you can still win by points. You can throw somebody and win the match, and so. Some big Sambo competitors that are well known are like Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's UFC undefeated UFC, one of the best fighters of all time. Fedor Emelianenko is another. He was a sports Sambist. He did some combat Sambo too. Combat Sambo is relatively new. However, yes. So a lot of these fighters in modern day MMA, especially from like the Russian blocks from the USSR breakup. They come, and now there's been such a huge wave. Islam Makhachev is a big name right now, but yeah, these guys are out of the sport of Sambo that have transitioned well into mixed martial arts.
Mm-hmm. So you say you've had this spot for 10 years.
Yes.
How long you been rolling?
15 years. So I was in high school. The Ultimate Fighter. I grew up a huge professional wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And the first season of The Ultimate Fighter followed Monday Night Raw, and me and my buddies in high school, we would watch Monday Night Raw every Monday, and then my one buddy Nick, he was like, "Hey man, there's this show coming up. It's like a UFC show. It's going on right after Monday Night Raw," and that was all she wrote. I think I was 15 at the time. Back then in 2004, I believe that was. It was very difficult to find a jiu-jitsu gym. Now jiu-jitsu gyms are, you have one in every town, but back then there's one in maybe every city. It's very, very spread out. So right. there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity until I was 18 to formally get to a gym and start training. And even then it was in somebody's basement, So Yeah, I was 18 when I started formally training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Before that, when I was watching The Ultimate Fighter, I used to go to like the bookstore. There used to be a bookstore called Walden Books in the Poughkeepsie Galleria, and I would get like Jiu-Jitsu books that taught moves. And we didn't know what we were doing, but me and my friends would see the images in the books and then just try to wrestle each other and get to these holds. So yeah.
So out of pure passion, you just like took that and ran with it.
Yeah.
At 15.
Definitely. I was 15. I was absolutely in love with it. Me and my friends, like I said, we would have like wrestling matches in the house. But to get to where I am now was indeed a passion project. I went to an alternative high school. I got in a lot of fights when I was in high school. I got suspended a lot. I was cutting classes. I didn't get a single credit my freshman year. And I suppose that a lot of that is my fault. The other part of that, the other variable in that is I didn't like going to school at 7 in the morning. I don't know, any 14 or 15-year-old who wants to get up at 5:45 a.m. to start, going to school and learning. So I wound up going to an alternative high school, and it really was quite beneficial for me. The first year of it was called Orchard View Alternative High School. The first year was from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. That worked out. It's actually the year that I discovered The Ultimate Fighter on TV. It didn't go on till 11 p.m., but I got out of school at 8 p.m. So it's like I was up till 3 or 4 in the morning back then. So high school, that comes on. I go to alternative high school, and then by the time I was 18, I was like training a lot. I worked at UPS. I used to load the trucks at UPS part-time in the back there. And I would go to jiu-jitsu at the time like once a week. And I really started to fall in love with jiu-jitsu around that time. So I quit my job and I just started training jiu-jitsu as much as I could. And then I did that for about a year or two. And by the time I was like 20, 21, I felt like a lot of pressure from my friends and my family, society in general, like, hey, you have to go get a real job. You have to basically do the things that society expects of you, which fair enough.
Shit.
And so I continued to train jiu-jitsu, but I wound up getting a job as a laborer on a construction site down in the city, right outside of the city. And so for a couple of years, I was a laborer, and a laborer just basically you're just using all of your muscles. I didn't really have any skills. It's not like, hey, go and build that for me. I couldn't do that. It was more like, hey, you see all that wood over there? Go bring that up X amount of flights of stairs, and then when you're done, go back and get more. It's like more like
pick things up. Exactly.
Exactly. More brute than brains. And however, I found out that I was slowly falling into this trap of waking up in the morning and doing something that you don't enjoy doing and you don't love doing, and I didn't want to wake up to an alarm clock, and I didn't like sitting in traffic on 684, and I didn't like leaving my house at 5:45 a.m. and not getting home until 6 p.m. and then going to train jiu-jitsu. Like I was just tired, and after about 3 years of doing construction. I trained jiu-jitsu the whole time, but I was probably about 23 years old, and I started to really think about life from the perspective of, how much of me is genuine and how much of me is going to enjoy life if I don't love what I'm doing. And, when you're not pure to yourself, you're not pure to others. And so being, depressed and not really pursuing what I wanted to do was a drain on me. And I just remember one day I was sitting down on the couch at my buddy's house, and I just had this kind of like premonition, like, hey, this is what you need to do with your life. And I went all in on jiu-jitsu, man. I had $400. I drove to some random town in Pennsylvania. I bought some mats, and I started renting out of a karate school 2 days a week for, God bless the guy. He's just an incredible human being, the guy who owned the karate school, and let me basically start my program. And it was the best decision I ever made. You have to pursue what's meaningful to you and what brings pleasure and joy to your life. And if you find yourself doing something that is soul sucking and just terrible, it's not going to be good for you. And you gotta, I'm glad that I made that leap at 23 before I made that leap at 43. You know, a lot of people will go and continue on to go through their life being miserable, and then they hit their wits' end, and they're like, man, I should have did this 20 years ago. And so I had decided to completely go ahead and pursue jiu-jitsu. And very similar, you know, there's a lot of, I would say, resistance. You know, my friends in my family thought I was crazy. You know, they're like, you're gonna go and do this. You know,
every time.
But it's interesting because when everything works out, and so when you start to become successful at it, then people cheer you on, and they start to see that you make the right decisions.
Right,
but and that's what got me to here. And so I think that martial arts, to me, specifically jiu-jitsu, is, you know, it's cliche, but it really is a metaphor for life. It requires hard work. If I'm going to work hard, why not work hard towards doing stuff for me and my loved ones, as opposed to working hard to build somebody else's dream? Why not build your own? And so now, you know, jiu-jitsu has a high attrition rate, and meaning that, you know, it's people quit jiu-jitsu at a high rate because jiu-jitsu is tough. Jiu-jitsu is not easy. You can't come in here and just think you're going to beat everyone up, regardless of how big or how small you are, because you're not. There's you know, there's people that are well trained and well versed, and so the other thing is, if that's an ego, right? We'll say that's an ego. If you come in with an ego, you will quickly be humbled. And if you're able to be humbled positively, you will continue to do jiu-jitsu. And some people, they can't take the, you know, they can't. Exactly. And so it's not for me, you know. The other aspect of it is it takes hard work to progress. You know, I think that all martial arts are good per se. However, you know, if you take a traditional martial art like a karate, you're not really going against anybody. There's no resistance training, right? So you can progress without having been faced with adversity, physical adversity, real adversity. But in jiu-jitsu, the only way to grow is to face adversity on a daily basis, which you have to go through adversity to progress and to get better. And this is life, right? Like life, you're going to have struggles. You're going to have storms brew up, and you have to learn how to navigate these things and have the mental fortitude to get through all of this, to be able to, you know, continue to progress throughout your life in a positive fashion. And so jiu-jitsu has done this for me, but I've watched this happen for countless people. And I get to see it on a daily basis, and I get to see it in children. You know, I get to see children come in here that are very shy, and after a couple of years, they're like these outgoing, you know, hardworking young kids, and I get to see it in adults. You know, perhaps someone walks in here when they're 40 years old, and, you know, their whole life changes. They lose weight, they get in shape, they get friends, and they develop this skill, and they build this confidence. And this is like a big thing, you know. The byproduct of hard work is one of the byproducts is confidence, and, you know, jiu-jitsu undoubtedly provides a lot of confidence, and it's helped me. You know, high school was you know, high school could be a tough time for me, and jiu-jitsu gave me the confidence to get through that at a time that I definitely needed it.
Oh yeah, it has to give you that confidence. You're getting slammed on the ground every day and shit. Yeah. Being in any kind of hole, it's like, yeah, I got this. These people ain't got shit on me at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you said you started the jump at 23. So how old are you now?
I'm 33. 32.
She's 2004. I was 6. While you was 15.
Yes, I was freshman year of high school. Yeah,
exactly. I'm in elementary school,
yes.
bro. I'm in like 4th grade or whatever. You know? But I'm glad. I love it when guests can talk, bro. You just did like, what is it, like 13 minutes of
sorry,
I'll
go off.
No, sorry. Go.
Thank you.
Because there's some people that don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
We gotta guide them, and you just went, because like you just said it right there, kids and everything like that. Like again, bro, when I told you, my boy boxes, I done jiu-jitsu in the past.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. I was one of those people. Like I told you, I quit because I was going to college, right?
Okay, yeah. I remember you saying that. Yeah.
That was one of the reasons why. But the real reason I wanted to get out of there, I didn't respect it.
Yeah.
I was going twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I didn't want to go. I really, word to didn't, bro.
Why do you think you didn't want to go?
Well, first, I'm 14. This is a 14-year-old to a
Oh, you're a
17-year-old.
kid,
That's
yeah,
3
yeah.
years, bro. So it's like, why didn't I want to go? Pokemon, bro. Pokemon, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So why did they
Like,
play
what
the
fuck?
game?
I'm over here going to fucking roll with these old ass men, and meanwhile I need to fucking work on my mammal swine and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I need to beat the 8th gym already. Come on, bro. But no, I will say this, man. Because that's a running theme going on. What you just said, where it's like nobody likes school.
Yeah.
You know, you're literally not the. I think everybody we had on said that. I didn't
fuck
fuck with
school.
school. I didn't fuck with school. Whatever. I hated going. I tried to go to the nurse's office, bro, and say I had a temperature 101 degrees. I wore a sweater with sweatpants trying to get out of
You
school.
running in a sauna suit.
Exactly, bro. But it's like I didn't like it. It's not that I didn't like jiu-jitsu, bro. I really felt like bro, I was just lazy, bro.
Also, you're a kid. You know, your priorities are different.
Yeah,
and,
man.
and you know, you as you grow older, you prioritize. I mean, look what you've grown this podcast into, right? You grew this podcast into what it has become now, where you're traveling and you're doing guests. You got me on the show, and I'm sure you've got a lot of people on the show.
Yeah.
But what did you do? You prioritized it, right? And so, you know, it's like you take a seed, right? You plant some seeds.
Yeah.
You give it some light. You put some water on it, right? It starts to grow, and then you reap the benefits of the harvest of that. You start clip it,
Right.
boom, go another pot, right? Another pot, right? And that's the same thing with jiu-jitsu. But you know, if you don't prioritize anything, you're not gonna grow with it, right? Luck is just one piece of it. You know, hard work and passion is the other like major piece of it. And yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for being a kid. You know, my goodness, I don't know if I did anything from 14 to 17 other than really enjoy girls and hanging out with my friends, you know, and so,
Jack
like,
off in
yeah.
the corner, you know what I'm saying? Like, you jacking off every-
Me, there's like, I don't know if it's just me. I talk to my boy about this all the time, but there's like a good feeling in getting like, in fighting martial arts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's just me. I get punched in the face. I feel like, let's go, you know what I mean? Like, let's get real type shit, you know what I mean? Like, some people don't even want the violence, you feel me? Like, I mean, I ain't trying to say
No,
you
no,
ain't
no, fuck it.
you know what I ain't trying to say you a violent. You don't.
I don't like, bro. I don't like. See, that's the thing. My boy over here, he like, bro. He wants me to hit him. We box a few times, bro. We'll go to a gym. We'll go to Hookley Gym in Newburgh, bro. He'll be like, hit me, motherfucker.
Shouts out,
Bing, bing,
shouts
bing.
out to my,
And I'm like,
shouts out to my coach Lee.
he was
You already
trying.
know.
He be trying to train me, cause like, bro, I be like, yo, you gotta train me, bro. Like, and it's like, and he wants me to hit him, and I'm like, I can't hit my boy, man. I can't do it. Like,
And mind you, I'll let him know I won't even hit you back. This is just me being on defense.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like trying to get him right.
But then it's like you do jujitsu, right? You're not
Mm-hmm.
hitting your boy per se. Like that's a quick story, bro. What is it? When I was doing with at the time was called Nine Mag and Wappingers. I think it's called Black Hole now. I don't know if they changed it.
Nine
I ain't been
Mag.
there. Yeah, New York martial arts.
That sounds familiar.
I know you heard of it. I told you about it before, bro. When I was rolling.
No, even before then, I heard a 9 Mag before.
Word.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there was this shorter dude, Allen, bro. Like, I'm 5'9". This dude was probably 5'6", 5'5", something like that. Like, Asian, whatever, Asian motherfucker. And he was coming, and he was doing it a bit longer than me. I'm a white belt, but I'm a little bit fatter. I was a little bit fatter, but I didn't have as much muscle. But either way, you would think, even though at my youth and my size, I could...
Going around.
This dude, bro, skinny motherfucker, right? He had me in a headlock. I was like, stop, stop, stop. Guard, bro. Guard. Because you know what, though? Even though his arms were thin, bro, it was to the bone.
Oh, yeah.
It was to the bone, and his fucking elbow was cutting.
Oh, he
me.
locked it in?
He locked it in, bro. And I was
Shit.
like, stop,
Tap.
motherfucker. Yeah, bro. This dude is about like 5 inches shorter than me, bro, and it don't matter. He got me, bro. That's it.
Facts.
It's you know, it's a skill. I mean, boxing, kickboxing, and any combat art. It's a skill set, you know, and like it is indeed organized violence is essentially right. Like I appreciate fighting for the art, right? And I think the more you train, the more you start to recognize that like size does matter, but size matters at a certain level, right? It's like you can have someone that's a total fresh beginner in jiu-jitsu go against, like, and they could be 6'6", 380 pounds, and you put them against someone that has 10 years of training. It's like this person that has 10 years of training has the skill set behind dealing with this. And the other aspect of it is like a lot of it is strategy based, and it's like chess, but it's physical chess, right? You have your predetermined outcomes. This guy moves this piece here. I have these options, right? And this is important as well. And so developing these skills takes time and progress, but it's a really crazy thing for like someone that's new to experience this, because I think a lot of people in the outside world, that you correlate, right? Like we did this as kids. I did this as a kid at least, right? You correlate muscle with toughness, right? You're like, oh, damn, that guy he's got huge muscles. That guy will beat everybody up. And
But
it's
he's
like,
slow as shit.
yeah, but he's not even skilled, right?
Yeah,
He's
no
skilled.
skill,
His
slow.
skill is in his set. Like this guy can go to the gym repetitively and lift weights, and he could be disciplined with his diet, and he could, be disciplined with his routine. However, he doesn't have the skill. Just because he's big doesn't mean he's going to be a big tough guy per se, right? And so, this is the skilled aspect of jiu-jitsu, of martial arts in general. Same thing you see boxers, for example, you see boxers go, right? And it's like I know from my own personal experience in boxing in high school is just dudes windmilling, right? Just like, just throwing hands, right?
Just throwing them joints.
Yes. It's like someone's going to land and someone's going to go to sleep, and the guy who gets lucky and lands the punch is going to be the new toughest guy in school, right? But then you see boxers, and it's like they don't windmill at all. It's pop. Bop, bop,
You know what I mean?
It's skilled, right? They know, they got the experience not to get sucked into that windmilling brawl, and they've got the skill set. They're snipers. They're just with that jab, bam, and that's it's kind of awesome.
So how many? Well, I actually, right before I even asked that, so you're not. Like, we could talk a lot about jiu-jitsu, but it's like, how did you get into the other martial arts? Like, because again, on your door, you say up front, you got like 6 different.
There's a 6 of them.
There's 6 different skills, man.
So basically, you have boxing and kickboxing, and you have jiu-jitsu and submission wrestling and sambo and judo, and you take all these other arts, but you break down combat into 2 different areas. You break down combat into striking arts, and you break down combat into grappling-based arts. And your grappling-based arts are going to be, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, judo, and sambo, and there's many. And then you take your striking-based arts, and that's boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, karate for whatever example, taekwondo. These are striking-based arts, and so I just like the idea of being well-versed, and I have people here that just do jiu-jitsu and have never done a boxing class or kickboxing class, and I've got people who do boxing that have never done a grappling class, but I just like being able to provide an environment where people can come here and they could pursue whatever is interesting to them. I have people that just want to lose weight, and it's like, hey, I just want to do cardio kickboxing. I'm not trying to become a fighter. And so, I think that providing an outlet is providing an outlet where people can do what they want is key. For me personally speaking, I mean, I just always grew up. I loved wrestling. I loved rough housing. I loved fighting with my friends. I liked being physical. I was always very physical, and I was the smallest kid in my neighborhood, so I was always getting into fights. And boxing. Again, my first love is professional wrestling, and then everything comes after that. And obviously, I loved boxing growing up, and Mike Tyson, and this like '90s era of boxing. And then I did jiu-jitsu, and from doing jiu-jitsu, I went back into delving into boxing, and then I just like to stay sharp, man. I like to be pretty well-rounded. I think that's key, is to be
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because when I was training, I took boxing at the gym that I was at. So it's like I had the striking with the boxing and the grappling with the jiu-jitsu.
Sure.
Yeah, and then I tried to do, because there was another subset, which is the MMA class, where we actually got hit and everything.
Yes.
Bro, there was maybe 3 of us taking that class. And I tried to do that class, but I avoided it like the plague, because we actually got hit in that class. Boxing, we might not have gotten hit,
What? What kind of boxing class you in and that don't get hit?
See how he's laughing, bro? See how he's laughing? That's how, I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it. Because I see, what I want to ask you is that you got that cauliflower ear on one of that, boss.
Yep.
How'd you attain that?
Just wrestling, I think probably just wrestling and what's called guard passing. When you get to the ground, you break down an altercation from the feet, right, and the ground, but you have to have that middle ground of like, how are we getting to the ground? and that's where wrestling comes into play, And again, if you watch let's say you watch a street fight online, so many fights wind up on the ground, and sometimes it's totally by accident. Someone swings so hard and misses that they fall straight to the ground. Sometimes people just trip and fall.
So you see people get slammed.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you see people get slammed. That's a takedown, right? But I would think that it's okay. So going back though, so you have the fight starts standing up. It goes to the ground. The one person can do what's called pulling guard, where they just pull the other person down to the ground. They usually concede the bottom position of combat. Where you could take somebody down. Now, once you're on the ground, you have a position. Like, what makes Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu different than the other grappling martial arts, right? Wrestling, high school wrestling, college wrestling, judo, sambo, you name it, right? And what makes jiu-jitsu different is the complexity of what's called the guard position. In judo, if you're on your back, you're being pinned, all right? In sambo, if you're on your back, you're being pinned. In wrestling, if you're on your back, you're being pinned. It's just a negative position to be in. And jiu-jitsu changed the landscape on that, because jiu-jitsu, you could be on your back and win a fight, right? Many times you see the person on the bottom hit an armbar from the bottom, hit a triangle choke, or whatever the case is. So jiu-jitsu is, the guard is what distinguishes it from the other martial arts, the grappling martial arts. And so a lot of the time, there's an art, there's a skill set called guard passing. And a lot of the time, you got to get your head low, and that's your ear gets rubbed on, and so on and so forth.
Bro, when I was taking jiu-jitsu, I got laughed at so many times.
Why?
Because of my family. My mother, because me and my mother, we go back and forth. We crack jokes, bro. And she was like, what? Because I talk about, because I didn't have too good of a job at that time. And she was like, oh, you won't get a job, but you'll go to that gym and have a man rub his balls on your face. And all that. And I was sitting there like, Ma!
No, that's
they find out you do jujitsu, and then they find out what jujitsu is. You get some ass in your face, and it ain't the right kind,
That's always the thing, right? That's you're always going to be in uncompromising positions. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of it.
Facts.
Some bullshit. But what's it good? Because I'm good. I'm glad. I was gonna ask you the distinction between jiu-jitsu and wrestling, but you just answered it.
Yeah.
What is it? So how many big fucks you getting coming through? And I just asked because, like we know jiu-jitsu, you can be on the floor. That dude could, boom, ham you on the floor, and you could just go straight for the armbar, triangle armbar, or have him with the triangle right here, like that. So it's like how many big fucks you get in here and then smaller people come in to get that. I'm gonna say education.
Sure. We have a lot of diversity, right? Men, women, big, small, skinny, fat. We get everybody, man. I've got guys in here that are 6'10", 300 some odd pounds, and I've got guys here that are. I've had in the past people that are like legal midgets. You know what I mean? Just one, he's laughing. I've had guys here that are super small. You know what I mean? It's like
super small.
You get a whole bunch of diversity here. So it's like I don't know the number to be honest, but we got every weight class you can think of, every size you can think of.
You get boxed out by a midget, bro.
He was he was tough dude,
I
man.
bet. I ain't gonna talk shit around him. I bet he could drop me. I ain't gonna hold you. Sack me right there. He go for the kimbo slice thigh, bro, and hit me in the nuts. That's it for me, bro. Oh, jeez. Nah, I bet he's cool, though. I bet he's cool. Nah, cause it's like, what's it called? And I gotta ask, bro, cause I got experience with this. Female situation. When you get, all right, so what's the ratio between men and women that come in and out here? I'm gonna get serious as fuck. I just wanna ask.
Sure, the ratio of men and women here, I would say I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, we got kids here. In the kids' classes is probably pretty 50-50, 50% girls, 50% guys. And then I would say the women is probably like a 70-30 split, men to women. But like, yeah.
Women's being 70, right?
No, women being 30. Like it's a majority male sport. You know what I mean?
Because I asked because when I was rolling, bro, there were a few women, bro, respected.
Yep.
You know, like at the end of the day,
they're coming into like a culture that is male heavy, male dominated.
Right,
you know,
right.
and so it's very important to make women feel comfortable in an environment like this. And so, you know, we got rules in place, like guys have to wear shirts under their uniforms. You know, you don't want some poor girl underneath some dude and he's got his chest hair in her face or he's sweating on her. You know what I mean? You're putting yourself in uncompromising positions. Like we don't let people walk around with their shirt off throughout the gym. It's important to make the environment, because we have a lot of girls. Like right now, I've got 2 students that are in South Carolina competing at a very big open tournament. It's Charleston Open, and then in 2 weeks we're going to be going to the Pan Ams. And so like I have some very successfully competitive women.
Right.
And you know, it's important to be able to foster an environment for girls to thrive in, right? Like at the end of the day, yes, jiu-jitsu can make you a better fighter and a better grappler, but ultimately, like the pursuit of jiu-jitsu is to become a better person. And so having an outlet where women can come here and feel welcome and where they can succeed is important to me. And so like it's important to make sure that we provide that type of outlet.
Right. Because let's say a white belt comes in, you know, he's fresh meat, but he wants to get into shape. He wants to be dedicated. He comes in and he goes against a girl, probably another white belt, let's just say yellow belt, or even a green belt wants to go with him to test him out and everything.
These are kids belts. The yellow and the green are kids belts.
Oh shit, that's right.
It would be like a blue belt. Yep.
My fault. It's been so long.
That's all right. If you were 14, you were in the kids program, so it's all good. Kids, teens.
I was rolling with grown men, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was rolling with brown belts at the time.
I mean, you a big boy, so
Yeah.
they
No, they didn't put me with no kids team, man.
No, I believe it. You're a big dude.
But but I'm saying like, it's I don't want to say daunting, especially let's say 14-year-old, 15-year-old. He sees the one girl that's there, the one woman. Let's say woman, because usually it's a woman.
Sure.
That's there, and she's rolling with the guys, and you in a rotation. Yo, next up, boom, you get to that female, and you barely even touched the girl.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. That's that entryway.
It's really important. Like
you get finicky, man.
No, so it's important to have like this is where coach comes into play, right? Like I just don't let people free for all just go, right? There is an important outline for the structure of class, right? If you just have like a free-for-all class where everyone just goes with each other, this is how injuries happen, this is how people get hurt, and this is how people, you know, don't grow. So it's very important to have at the top of, you know, you have to, it comes from the top down, the culture of a gym, and it's important to have culture at the top. And so obviously you have your coaches, but additionally you have your senior students that are, you know, they're also kind of like the I guess you would say the regulators of culture. Perhaps might be the best term. Maybe it's not the best term, but you know, it's everyone helps each other out.
Right,
so
right.
There's not going to be an awkward situation. There shouldn't be an awkward situation where
Because
like,
of the mutual respect.
Yeah,
for
there's
everybody
definitely the mutual respect, but also the skill set, right? Like I know and we know that it's like probably not a good idea to put 2 people together that are just starting out. Guy and girl. A girl and girl, right? It's like putting 2 beginners together is like putting 2 people in a blender.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's gonna go
right.
crazy.
Right.
So it's like.
But I'm just saying, like on the factors of like, you know, you got new fish, younger kid who ain't never, because like I said, you're gonna be rolling with this person. Like I said, ass in the face, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just bringing this up because it's like that is.
There's
something
not going to
that
be
is
ass
gonna
in the
get-
face. Like I don't think this will be the case.
All right, bro. I'm just cause it's like cause I'm on some real shit. I'm not on some bullshit.
No, me
'cause
too.
it's like- Yeah. Cause it's like that is something that like I'll be up front.
Uncompromising positions.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Sure,
I
sure.
faced when I was younger, it's like there was that one woman in the class, and I was like, am I gonna have to roll with this chick? You know what I'm saying? And I was
Sure.
just like, I avoided her like the plague, like the bitch I was. But it's like, you know, it is what it is.
Sure.
So, but then in boxing, when we doing the boxing class, there was this one chick, and I was paired with her, and she was obviously better than leagues better than me, and she was like literally like, we were actually striking at this time, and she was like, she was hitting me, and it was my turn to hit her, and she was like, hit me, and I was like, I can't hit you, bitch, goddamn.
Yeah.
No, I can't do it. But
Yeah.
but that boys versus girls thing, that has to go to the wayside in this.
In a way, I think in a way.
You gotta
but
toss
like,
that.
But that's when I was like, that's why I'm saying like, it goes like, well, for me, I feel like it's more like a respect thing. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna be in this ring, you know what I mean? I understand as a man, I'm not gonna want to hurt you with sparring, shit like that. But like, I'm gonna give you your respect and come in the ring with me, and we're gonna get this work. We're gonna work. You know what I mean? That's the whole issue. Like that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely again, but it's culture based, right? It's like it's important that each gym you go into, you can go to 10 different gyms all throughout the world at a different destination, and no 10 gyms cultures are going to be the same. You go to 100 gyms, no gyms cultures are going to be the same. So it might be similarities, right? But no cultures are going to be the same through and through, and so it's important to have good culture. And what I mean by this is like, you know, when people spar, it's like, you know, you're not sparring to knock each other out, right? You're sparring to develop your skill set. You're sparring to develop your jab, develop your cross, you were saying when you were trying to get him to hit you, you know, what you said, you were developing your defense, right? I'm just going to work my defense, right? And this is how you can exchange, this is how you can spar and both still develop skills, right? It's that mutual respect. I personally don't know anybody that would spar with a female and try to, you know, knock her out, you know? It's
No. You're not trying to, you know, you're not trying to kill nobody. You're not trying to knock nobody. We at the end of the day, we know that. Listen, we're here training.
Yep.
This isn't a street fight or nothing like that.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like nobody's trying to do that. And if they go in with the intention of that, then like you said, the coach got to step in, and he's like, "Hey, whoa. You're doing the most.
Yeah.
Knock it off."
But you were saying that you couldn't hit her.
Yeah. No, I couldn't hit her.
She was so skilled.
No. It wasn't the show. I had the willies, man. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like me myself, I could not hit it because I can't hit nobody. Like I told you, I had a problem hitting my boy. I can't hit nobody, let alone a female. Because you know we're bred to say like women put women on a pedestal. But it's like in that ring, she literally said, "Hit me."
Yeah.
Like, and I was like,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
But I feel you, but it's like, if she's asking you to hit, she's hitting you. She's
like
hitting
14,
you.
I was 14,
You know what
15,
I mean?
bro.
14,
I'm
15.
a kid, bro. Like I couldn't hit.
Bro, I was in Newberg's gym at 15, 16,
Listen.
There was women damn near knocking my ass out.
But
You know what I mean?
But I'm saying though, is like that was the point. Is like I had to break that off. Equal rights, equal fights. I know, man.
Facts.
I had to break that.
And how I looked at it is like it's more of a respect thing.
Out here, bro, them mannish females, bro, will come at you like you seen them.
Which is why you don't give them the same energy, but you give them some of that energy because sometimes the female will feel disrespected. Oh, I can't hit you.
It's very true.
She was
Yeah.
disrespectful.
You know what I
She
mean?
was disrespectful. No funny. She was.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, she was. Because it's not equal.
You know?
We talk about
it's like a
equality.
warrior's code.
It is.
In a way,
Oh, it
you
is.
know?
It was. It's like, which is ironic. I'm just saying this, bro, from a kid mindset, you find the irony in that. But it's like, no, it's like we're all here. It is disrespect to back down from that. So it's like, I'm like, and then at the time I didn't realize, fair enough. That is disrespectful. I didn't know that. But you know what, though? Everybody at the gym was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to say everybody was the aggressor. No. Everybody there, older men, gentlemen, nice-ass people, everybody there chill.
Yep.
I've yet to, but I've seen videos of where bullies in the gym, and then the bully meets the guy who
could do shit.
Exactly.
That's called the
Exactly.
enforcer.
enforcer,
That's called the enforcer.
He get handled.
The guy in the gym who
You seen bullies in the gym?
bullies. Yeah, I would say so. But you get the people that come in here and they want to prove something. And yeah, there's a mat enforcer. You know what I mean? The mat enforcer is that dude that, like I was saying, regulates the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The regulator.
Brown belt, that brown belt that
enforcer.
sees dudes playing too much. Ayo,
Recently, I had someone come to my gym and call me up on the phone and like he said, "Yo, I'm outside your gym. The door is locked." And I said, "All right." I said, "What gym you outside of?" He said, "Oh, we're outside. I'm outside of the one in Beacon." I said, "Well, today we're at our Fishkill gym, you know." He goes, "When's class?" I said, "Right now." He goes, "Can I come by?" I said, "Sure," you know. And he comes by the Fishkill gym and he walks in and he's like, I see him, you know, he walks in, he's just like looking around, he's sizing everybody up, you know. He's here not to train and have a good time, but he's here to prove a point, right? So he, you know, I allow him to train even though he showed up late. I allow him to train and
50 burpees.
no, I just let him go. You know, I showed him where the dressing room was. He signed a waiver, and he tells me that he hasn't trained in 6 months. He's got a little bit of training. I don't even know if he gave me his real name, to be honest. I probably should check his ID. But he tells me all this, and then he comes out of the locker room and he's wearing like this all of this gym's gear, right? That's like a major no-no. It's not that it's a major no-no, but it's viewed as like kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like it's like walking into Pepsi for a meeting, but you're wearing all Coca-Cola's gear, right? So it's like in jiu-jitsu, there's this kind of like if you're going to a gym, you're visiting town. It's like, you know, you do the respectful thing and you wear what's called like an unaffiliated gi. You wear a Nike T-shirt instead of the gym that you go to's T-shirt or whatever the case is, right? It's just kind of like a white flag, so to speak. Like, I'm here to have a good time. I'm not here to represent my team.
You put on Everlast as opposed to whatever.
Exactly. Like, let's say you went to whatever this gym, and you know you put on like a kind of neutral thing. But so he comes out of the locker room and he told me that he first of all he told me that he was from like 4 hours away upstate, and then he comes in out of the locker room and he's got a local gym's gear, like he's just all decked out. And so but that's fine. You know, I didn't say nothing to him. Sometimes I'll say stuff like, "Hey man, like, you know, we don't like, you know, we don't have that
Wrong
here."
colors, homie.
Exactly. But I let it go. I tried to be very like respectful of him, and I see the way he's rolling my guys. He's not rolling my guys to train. He just wants to like, you know, come there and you know, he just wants to come there looking for some trouble. So you know, I gave him the meal ticket, right? I said, "You want to go?" "Oh yeah, I'd love to go." And you know, I
Enforced.
Right? I enforced, and then you know, it's like he just was just not a good. You just didn't get a good energy from this guy, and but yeah, I had to be the mat enforcer that day.
Was he doo-doo?
He was not he was not as experienced as me.
Gotcha.
You know? He was definitely not as experienced as me.
But then you know what? You got to step in as the leader and as the role model. You know, when a dude comes in wearing another flag.
Yeah, I see. Normally I'm cool with that. I honestly didn't mind that. Like I bring it up because it's typically like you don't do that. But he didn't know. Perhaps he didn't know. And a guy can come in wearing another gym. He could be from out of state. He can be from out of town. Whatever it is. But it's the attitude in which they bring onto the mat. You know, are they here to? You're doing a nice thing. You're letting this person train at your gym. Are they here to be respectful and get some good training in, or are they?
And it was for the free?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, enforce.
So
enforce.
It sounded like you knew so was gonna go down.
I hope he tapped out more than 10 times. You know?
he did. He tapped out more than 10 times in under 3 minutes.
Let's go. Let's go.
So okay, because that's ridiculous. Because a lot of people come in here. I came in here because I was bullied.
Yep.
Not here, but like, you know, I came into the dojo because I was bullied.
Sure.
And I needed to get my situation handled. And, you know, after a certain point, you know, yeah, it did. But then it's like, you know, I did find some peace because I was losing weight. A lot of water weight just
coming off you.
Exactly, you know. And at a certain point, you know, it was like, it was good. It really was excellent, an excellent feeling. Even though I was still lazy with it, I didn't respect the art. You know, kids come in when they're getting bullied, and they won't say it, their parent will bring them in, and
Yep.
then like that enjoyment. Like, okay, this dude might be lazy, but then this dude comes in, like you said, 15 years old. Your boy Nico,
Yes.
he's 17. He said he's been doing it 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he was a kid.
And he's highly competitively successful. He's traveled a lot, and yeah,
Yeah, I like how Nico carries himself. He looked like he carries himself well.
he
Quite
does.
well.
Good kid, very humble. I mean, you saw he's like, let me go grab a vacuum and get the mats clean. You know, he's just a good kid. You know, hard worker. He's rare. He's a rare kid.
In today's
Great.
day and age, especially.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, it's just like, and it's a terrible thing, but it's like, you know what? If people need that extra edge to come in, if bullying does, you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the double edges of like bullying, because, you know, the whole world right now, we got to stop bullying. But then it's like,
It'll make everybody soft if it
Only
wasn't
one
a
way to
bully
stop
like
bullying,
that.
you know.
Yeah, only one way.
Yep.
Protect yourself.
Exactly.
You feel me?
he said, I got 3 warnings for you. I warned you once, I warned you twice. Here's the third motherfucker.
You know?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's super important.
Yeah.
Kids got to stand up for themselves. You know, you can't. What happens when you're an adult? You know, it's like you gonna run and call your mom up. You know, it's like.
I mean, yeah, I'm a dude. I'm be like, Mom, I'm in jail. I'm sorry. I
It
knocked
be
him out.
different
His head split
sometimes.
open. That's what.
Sometimes it's different though. Sometimes people don't go into martial arts because of bullying. Sometimes people just like this shit. You feel me? Like homie. Well, I mean, he did say he was fighting a lot, so I know you probably had to protect yourself a couple of times.
I mean, you're telling me
absolutely.
what you
You feel
bullied
me?
us? 'Cause you say you was a small kid.
Yep. Yep. I was definitely bullied. Yeah, man, I got a great bully story. So I'm not going to mention no names, but so I was a freshman in high school.
Freshman.
Starts like
And
how it
I was a
usually
freshman in
starts.
high school, and this gentleman was a senior in high school. And
Oh,
the
shit.
first day of school,
Freshman beat down.
yeah, it was definitely like here's the thing. We were in the cafeteria, and this dude runs up and he just bumps into me. Like, he pretended like he was just trying to get through the line, but he like intentionally bumped into me. So I shoved him, and like you know, I always stand my ground. And it's like, I might lose, but I'm going to fight. It's not. You're not going to walk over me, right? This was my mindset back then, and it's my mindset today. You have to stand up for yourself, and you can be good to people, but you also have to be capable of, you know, holding your own. And anyway, so this kid bumps into me, blah blah blah. I shove him. You know, I said, "Watch where you're going," and so we get in each other's face, and that was that. You know, he's oh my bad or whatever. That wound up being. Like a high school type nemesis, right? Even though that was my freshman year and it was his senior year, this lasted. I mean, every time I went to the mall, him and his friends were just messing with me. Just always like, they would I'd be on the bottom floor of the mall and they're like throwing coins down. They're just throwing shit at me. I'm like walking through the mall with my girlfriend, whatever, you know, and they're just like, just straight harassing me, right? It's like, I'm always outnumbered. And this kid wound up turning into like a drug dealer, man, like a legitimate drug dealer. I'm not talking about moving, some grams here or whatever. I'm talking like he became a legitimate drug dealer.
Narcos.
Yes, exactly.
Narcos.
So by the time I was a senior year, this dude had like a crazy nice, he had like an Infinity on like 23-inch rims, crazy gold chain. And he went from like this nice little boy from Fishkill to all of a sudden he thought he was the world's hardest dude. It was actually quite funny. So I was driving home. I used to have an early release schedule from school, right? So I'm driving home from school, and I hadn't seen this kid in a while, you know? Like, he was a senior when I was a freshman. By then, now I'm a senior. This dude's, if I'm 18 as a senior, this dude's 21, whatever. He's 3 years older than me. But I'm driving, I'm sitting there, and I'm at the red light, and I just feel flap, and I just feel something hit me, dude. And I look over, and it's him, and he's got a boy in the car with him, and they're like just talking shit. And what wound up being that hit me was he tossed a battery at me. He hit me with I don't know, he must have had a battery in his cup holder, and boom, he fucking, hits me with this battery in the car. So I spin my car around, you know, the dude follows behind me. My idea was like, get back to school. I'm about to get jumped. So I turn back, I get to my school, I run into the school because I wasn't trying to get jumped. And they didn't even know I'm in this hallway, but there's like, the glass is mirrored glass. There's nothing in the hallway. It's an open hallway. But they didn't know that because when he pulled up, he just saw like a building. He probably assumed that there was people in there, but there wasn't. And him and the other guy just like, they damaged my hood, they broke my window, and they messed my car up. Well, later that day, that kid wound up kidnapping somebody. He put a pistol in their mouth. He kidnapped them and threw them off the road, right? And so he winds up getting arrested for that stuff, and then he goes away for a while. But he comes back probably like 3 years later, and this guy had, you know, really tortured me, and he had tortured me during these times in my life where it's like, you know, I really couldn't fight back because it was never fair. And but you let that simmer up in you for a while, and you start to build this rage. Well, got to remember, during this time I had started training jiu-jitsu, and probably around the time that I was 21, I see this guy at a bar, right?
Oh shit, here we go.
And I see him at the bar, and I go right up to him, and I push him, and man, he is all sorts of shook, you know, and he's got his buddy with him, and the whole bar just like circles up, and the dude runs, right? Just totally runs, and he's talking smack as he's running, and I go outside.
I hate those types.
Yeah.
I hate them.
And so we go outside, the whole bar clears outside, we're in the parking lot, and the guy he gets in his car, he's like, I'm not dealing with this, you're not gonna jump me. I was like, dude, no one's jumping, it's me and you know? So,
You're not
he
joking.
got
me.
away.
Who says that? Who says that?
He got away, right? And he got away, and I was like, damn, man, I should have just fought him, right? And so as fate would have it, I was meant to see him again. I saw him again a couple months later. I was designated driving for my buddies, and we went up to Shadows on the Hudson, and the bouncers there checking IDs outside, right? And so this guy is chilling behind the bouncer, and I see him, and I was like, this is my chance, you know? So yeah, so I was like, yo, what's up, dude? And he's like, what's good? I was like, bow! Yeah! You know? So I blasted this dude, and like, I didn't even get to hit him more than once because I hit him and he just timbered forward. You know, one of those like timber knockouts. You know, instead of falling backwards, he went to go step forward and just fell. And then crazy story. It's gonna sound like I'm making this up, but I swear, right? So like I'm in this like fight or flight mode, right? Like I'm telling you, my senses just heighten, and it's like a scene from The Matrix or something, right? Everything just tightens up. I'm like so aware, and like time's slowing down. I feel like a friggin' reptile, you know? And all of a sudden, his buddy comes out from like out of nowhere, and he's trying to come at me, and he throws his punch, and I swear, I'm like, bow, bow, and I hit this dude, right? And now the bouncer comes over, and my hands are up. I don't know if the bouncer's their friend. I don't know if like they were chilling outside with the bouncer because they're buddies. So my hands are up with the bouncer, and I'm like, yo, man, like I didn't come here trying to fight nobody. He's like, you just dropped 2 dudes. And I was like, fair enough, you know? And, he's like, you got to get out of here. I'm calling the cops. And he called like on his headset for backup. And like, man, all these bouncers came through the doors, and I just like,
time to go. Yeah,
I got out of there. But part of a massive part of that was the confidence of jiu-jitsu, right? Jiu-jitsu gave me that confidence to you know, right the wrongs that were done to me. And I wound up seeing him again like 3 years ago. And was actually at the restaurant right next door. It was like nighttime after class, and this dude walked in, and just like that, like I said, like that reptilian, like that animal instinct, you know? And it's like I got up from the booth, and we had like this, you know, kind of like, you know, old Western standoff, and I'm standing up, and he's across, and he's like, I don't want no problems with you, man, I swear, I don't want no problems. And I was like, okay, cool.
Facts.
And then he came up to me, and he apologized for bullying me when I was younger. It was pretty cool, you know? But at first, when he walked in, I was like, it's going down again.
Let's
you know?
go.
But it all worked out. But again, the most important part of that is the fact that like I had gotten the confidence to finally stand up for myself because I put in all the work on the mat, you know, and it comes full circle.
I don't know, you know, don't take this as disrespect, but the whole thing about jiu-jitsu, and especially martial arts as a whole, is that you're not supposed to start the fight.
Yeah.
So why are you throwing the first punch?
No, you have to.
No,
Yeah.
I get it. Bro, trust me,
He
fucking
was
get it.
bullied.
Trust me,
They
bro.
harassed
But here's
man.
the thing.
He got what was
Why'd you-
coming.
Why'd
to
you
him.
throw the first punch?
Why
That's
not?
because
You hear this? Why not, son?
go again at the camera.
They started with men.
That's the credo that's what I was brought up on.
Sure.
You're not supposed to throw, like, you can like stand your ground, You gotta do what you gotta do, show that you're not intimidated and scared.
He wouldn't have to throw the first punch if they wasn't fucking with him.
No, I
in the
know,
first
I
place.
know, but it's like, and I guess we can get into this, you know, it's like, well, there you go, that's the difference of the cultures, but it's like, that's what I was told, where it's like, you fight if you have to, but you know what I'm saying, if you don't have to, if this dude is still fucking with you, as you can see, he was pussy, he was a coward in that bar.
Sure.
But then you say, you know, you throw the first punch. Why would you throw
Well,
the first punch?
I throw the first punch because this person had tormented me for a very long time.
Right.
And that fucks with you.
Right.
That's number one. Number two is there was this portion of my life where I couldn't go out in public without the anxiety of knowing that someone might do something to me. Right, if I see this kid out, he might sucker punch me. His friends might sucker punch me.
And niggas do
and
that.
So exactly.
I know niggas do that. I know very
And
very
so after that happened, I never got messed with again by him or his goons. Right? Everything flips. Everything's like a scale, and there's a balance to it, right? And so like for this whole time, his friends and just people, I would say that even associated with that circle, thought he was some real bad dude. And
You wasn't afraid of his boys coming after you, him coming at you again with the
no,
none of that jail time.
no.
When you
Busting,
bro,
hold on.
listen,
Busting a skull, because that's real shit though. It's like you defend yourself. It's like, boom, you say he timbered forward. He could have split his shit.
Sure.
I'm just saying. Like you weren't afraid of none
But
of
it didn't happen.
Yeah, you know.
Like
what
you
I
can get in a car and get in a car accident, right? I can get in a car accident as soon as I leave here. It might happen. It's happened for some people, but it's probably pretty rare.
You in the right, big dog.
I'm not saying he's in the
Facts.
wrong. I'm asking because that's the discipline that
Why do I have to go? Why do I have to go out with my friends for a good time, and then
And still be worried.
and exactly be worried, and then go there and see this guy? Why do I have to go home and walk away? Why can't I go out and enjoy myself? And so, what I did was I made a statement, and that statement was made, and
Don't fuck with Mikey.
and that's precisely right. And nothing ever came about it. When I saw him years again later, I thought it was going to be that, but nothing ever came of it because I feel like I stood my ground, and I think in a certain way, I think he realized that he deserved it. Right? If he did that sort of behavior and those actions towards me, he probably did that shit to a lot of people, and that's karma. Right, and so like I remember when after I had did that to him, and it back then the big thing was Facebook, but like everything was making its waves on Facebook. Did you hear that Mike dropped this guy? And people were reaching out to me like, thank you for doing that. Like I had a whole bunch of people reaching out to me. I wish I could have did that. And it's like, for sure I could have thought about the consequences, but sometimes you got to be courageous, and I feel that was necessarily a courageous move.
And you knocked him out when you became a senior.
Exactly.
You see?
I mean, it was a little bit past senior year. I was like
but
20,
even
21.
then, he had time. Like he's been getting fucked over since 9th grade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, I would have done the same goddamn thing, if not worse. You feel me?
Yep.
Real G shit. Because, bro, like I understand, like as being a instructor and such like that, there's discipline and wanting to be pacifist, but niggas get fucked around with too much, and sometimes it's just like you just gotta make that. What he said, a statement.
Not a pacifist though, more passive.
Well, yeah,
not a
what
But you have
pacifist,
to
you
be-
wanna dick.
I mean, not
You have to
straight
be-
pacifism.
You can be good, and you can be responsible, but you still have to be capable
Right.
of holding your own and standing up for yourself in times of need.
Right.
It's like you can't let people get away with everything.
Sometimes
You
you
have
need
to
to
stand
throw
your
that
ground.
first
Exactly.
punch.
There's boundaries, right? There's a line in the sand, so to speak, and that was the line in the sand. Never got crossed again.
I understand, bro, as somebody who's been tormented all throughout middle school, bro, I fully understand. I'm just like, that's a conflict, and you just said that you might spark a little sign, like, because Bro, I got shit right now. I got, you know.
I don't care. Any nigga that bullied me didn't want to throw hands on me. That's straight
But you know what? What I want to
Be
say
right back.
is, what I want to say is, though, bro, when you handled that, I'm sorry, you want the clock still, Buster?
Yeah, we got like 5 left.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about kids and shit, but no, it's just that dude you was talking about. He was fucking with you. I think sometimes, and I like to believe this, is that he felt something in you. That dude's obviously we don't know bully. People only bully each other when they're feeling low. He must have saw something in you, bro. The potential. How old were you in freshman?
14, 15, yeah, 14,
Oh, so
15.
around that time, you was starting. You was starting.
Yep.
So he could have seen early on that your potential, and he, wanted to snuff that shit before it even happened. But all he did was heighten it,
I think that
add gas to it.
yeah, I think that looking back, I don't know why people. I mean, obviously, I don't know why he felt the. I don't know why he felt the. Perhaps it was a girl. Maybe he liked a girl. Who knows what it was? But
Simp.
it's. I don't know why people do things like this, and I think you hit on it that they're feeling some way. They're feeling bad
Right.
about some things, and they want to project that on other people and take it out on them.
Right.
They're not feeling too big, so they want to make someone else feel small.
Right. It's like, it's the whole thing about, whether you're a fat kid, you're a short kid, you're whatever. So it's like, it always goes into that. I know we got to wrap it up. Right quick, the kids.
Sure.
How many kids you got coming in? You said the ratio between the young kids is boys and girls is 50-50. I just want to know right quick, do they see you as, for me and Isaac's taste, I would say a father figure of sorts or a disciplinary authority? And I mean authority like this, you're a person that they could look up to.
Sure.
Or a figure in their life that, because I still respect I should have bowed before my fault. I forgot to do it, man. See, it's been so long. Oh my God. My instructor would have me do 50 burpees just for that. But yeah, no. So it's like, do they see you as some kind of? How do they see you?
They see me as a coach, right? I think this is probably the most what they see me as, and as you go up, perhaps you see me as a mentor, perhaps you just see me as someone that's teaching jiu-jitsu. It really depends. I mean, specifically with the kids, they definitely view me as a coach and an authority figure, right? A lot of times their parents threaten their kids with, I'm going to tell Coach Mike, But yeah, I think that we have like a pretty large kids staff. We have like 8 to 10 instructors on the mats with them at all time. Obviously, they see me as the head coach, right? The coaches that help out are all, these mentors for the kids to, help them be positive. I think it's really important to instill confidence in kids, right? This is key, and make sure that you don't everyone gets equal treatment in the sense of you're gonna have kids here that are quiet and afraid for engagement. You're gonna have kids here that are just absolute athletes, and they look forward to it. And it's important to make sure that children are having fun while they're also learning and progressing. And it's not like a traditional martial art where kids line up in belt rank order, and it's like I want kids to feel good. I want kids to come here, and I want them to leave feeling like they've had a good day, and that they learned something, and most of all that they've had some fun, and learned a lesson. And perhaps the lesson is a technical lesson, but perhaps the lesson is a life lesson. Last week we talked about one of the kids was getting bullied, and parents came in to talk to me about it, and so we sat down and we talked about the importance of standing up for yourself. And it's like kids leave here and learning that life lesson. It's important to stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Always.
Teaching them proper nutrition and all that.
No, I don't really get into that. No, my diet's not the best, so.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. We know somebody, bro, was eating. No, I'm not gonna do it.
He's not gonna do it. Yeah, bro.
I'm not gonna do it.
I know what you're
I was
talking
saying that
about, bro.
for
I
when
know
we
what
see
you're
him.
talking about. I know what you're talking about.
It's another dude.
I mean, doesn't having a good diet affect how your performances? Obviously it does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kids can eat anything.
Yeah, kids can eat. I think people can eat anything.
Yeah.
Right? There's Olympic judo silver medalist Travis Stevens. Guy took silver medal in judo. He's the first American ever to take a silver medal. But his diet is completely, Skittles and M&Ms. It's like I think skill. What comes down to most important is skill, and then diet could be secondary perhaps. But I honestly can't give nutrition advice.
So then now I have an actual real question. Then, how do you feel about marijuana?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think that it's legal. I think that's.
I mean, when it comes to a certain when it comes to, I wouldn't say training, but like the lifestyle as a judo artist, jiu-jitsu artist, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you work out, like me as a boxer after I work out, have one little, one or two, and I'll be okay.
I think that it's
Fatigue.
like totally, it's up to the individual. It's like I don't judge one way or the other. It's like it's really up to the person. As long as if you're training and and you're able to do everything that is required of you to do, it is what it is.
So as long as you know how to do this Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you can do whatever you want.
Nah. To add to that, what about a little?
What is that?
You're fucking stupid. He's stupid.
You ain't never done.
You got boogers? Your nose running? Is it COVID-19?
Sugar booger. Sugar booger. That's OD. That's OD.
I'm joking, bro. I know. No, that's a joke. But yeah, I see all the clap. So, right quick, man, thank you for coming on, Mike. We really appreciate it, boss.
Thank you, yeah.
For real.
This has been, you never know what you can get from talking to people. And fellow warrior. We talk to other warriors all day, every day, bro.
I appreciate
Not all
that.
day, every day, but we've had them on the podcast
Yeah,
before,
for sure.
bro. So let them know where they can find you at, where your locations are, and whatnot.
Sure. So we got gyms. Evolution Grappling Academies in Beacon, Fishkill, and Newburgh.
Ooh, you got a gym in the bird?
Yeah. Evo BJJ is our Instagram handle, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it,
Great
bro.
conversations. Thank you, man.
Thank y'all very
Appreciate
much
you
for
guys.
watching this episode of the Smash Cast Live. What episodes? I don't even know, 40 something.
So we got a lot of episodes going on. You know what I mean?
Thank y'all very much. Please, thank you again to Mike and Evo BJJ, Beacon Martial Arts coming in. This has been your boy Smash, Ike Dixon. Anastasia's over there drawing. So yeah, thank y'all very much. Take care. See y'all later.
Peace!
Like, subscribe, and share.
Please.
You guys are on YouTube?
Yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah.
We be on Instagram, we be on YouTube. Our